Alright guys, in this video I'm gonna be installing the center speaker on the Audi A3 8V. Alright, so first thing you're gonna need your center speaker, which is gonna go in this area here. Also you're gonna need the connector to the center speaker. You're gonna need this piece of wire which is gonna go into that plug to connect to the speaker, and you're gonna need two of these self-tapping screws to hold the speaker down up in there. Alright, so first thing we're going to do here, we're going to use our trim tool remover to take off this speaker cover. We're going to try and prise away in these little areas here. Okay, and as you can see, it's starting to pop out. So just, again, we're not going all the way in, we're just trying to get just the first layer off, because there's two, that just allows us to pop it off. Okay, and as you can see, it has been taken off. Next, what you want to do, there's not much space between the screen and the gap here, but next what we want to do, we want to take off this Torx. It is that one, yep, so that one there and that one there. You're going to need something quite flat, so get your Torx 25 and a 1/4 inch ratchet or something and just ratchet it. So, alright, so this is the setup I've got. I've got a nice small 3/8 ratchet, and I've got my T20, it's not a T25 bit, I've got my T20 bit, and I'm ready to take those two screws out. Okay, so as you can see here, just try and prise it in, use the trim tool just to push it up, very gently, pop it out all the way around. Okay, so as you can see, we have removed the last bit that is stopping us from putting the center speaker in. There is a connection to the receiver for the remote control that you don't really need to take out. I wouldn't anyway, in case you don't want to hassle, blah blah blah. There's two little bits that are holding it in. That's the silver one there and the silver one there. Those are what you really need to aim at to try and pop out when you're using your trim tool. Again, be very very careful, because you don't want to damage this equipment, because you know it's rather expensive. Alright, next, now we can place the center speaker in. Depending on what side of the road you drive on, you've got to have it facing a certain way, and yeah. The main thing is now is to make sure you're running your wire from this area here all the way down into the glove box. If you didn't know how to take this out, there's another video on the channel, so go through that and that will teach you and show you how to take out your glove box. Next, what we want to do, we want to try and get some extension cable, not an actual extension cable, wire to extend the wiring that's going to go into this plug. And as you can see, what I've run here, I've managed to get it to come out straight through. So if I can show you there, the best thing to do when you're doing this install is to do it during the day, so that way you can see exactly where to run the cable. So the cable's going to go through the top here, and it's going to go down the bottom, and it's going to go through to the glove box, so I can wire it in to the back of this quad lock. Now you've got some red, you also want to get some negative. So I'd say get a black cable, or whatever colour you want to use, as far as you can distinguish it. Tie it onto this, and then just keep pulling it. In terms of actually installing the whole thing, it's nearly complete. Next, what you want to do, you want to get your connector and your wire and push them in through the back here. Also, when you're plugging these in, make sure that they're going in that way and they're not going in that way. So these little fins here where my fingernail's pointing to should be facing up, and they shouldn't be on the side. So it shouldn't be like that, it should be like that. Those fins on the side here should be on the top, like so. When you push it into the connector, you're able to push this bit down, which will then lock it in place. Okay, so once they're both pushed in, all you need to do is make sure that you shove them to the front, so that's the closest you can, and then just push this clip down like that, and that stops them from tugging out. Next, what you want to do, you want to snip this wire, so that way you can connect one to the positive and one to the negative. Okay, so to find out which one's positive and negative, you just got to simply follow the video. Lucky for you. If you hold the plug facing you this way, in short, that is it. So now the connections, obviously you're working with sound here, you want it to be as good as possible, you don't want it flickering in and out, but either way make sure they do not come into each other. Obviously you don't want to short circuit the system. Next, what you want to do, you want to push your plug all the way in, and then we're going to go to start locating where we're going to put it in, what way it's going to go around over here. Alright, so very important when working over here, make sure that the this little whatever wire it's called, I forgot what it's called, but the wire there for the sensor, make sure it goes underneath the plug. If you put it all the way on and then you realise, uh-oh, you didn't do it that way, simply loosen it a bit, lift the speaker a tiny bit, and then pass this cable, this little textured cable that's covered in texture, around the back and underneath, or it won't be flush, and then push that back down. Okay, so I forgot to buy this cable. You need to buy 2 of these if you're going to do your center and your sub, so you might as well get 2 at the same time. But just dealing with the center, you're going to need 1 of these. They're double-ended, so you're going to cut it in half. One end's going to go to the positive and one end's going to go to the negative wire, and then with these pins that are in front of you here, you're going to push them into the back of the quad lock on the second row down. Once you plug them into the second row down, ensure that they're in the right position using this image here. Once you do that, plug it into the back of the MMI unit, push everything back, and you're good to go. Next, what you need to do is obviously get it coded. If you can't get this cable like I did, struggle, and do it this way. So then I went and I bought this PC308 from Halfords, and all I did, I snapped the plug in half and then just used the pins from it. On mine, I couldn't do that, I couldn't wait for the pin, so I've just melted that through. I've gone to Halfords, got what I showed you, and I'm just attaching these pins here directly to the terminals. What I'm going to do, I'm going to wrap it as far as I can in some insulation tape so they don't short circuit while I'm listening to music. So this is the setup I've got here. As you can see, my cables are all insulated well, they're not touching each other. They are going to be supported, of course, because obviously they're on the quad lock. I had to melt the area so that way I can just push it straight on without pushing the pins through. The pins as they were when I snapped them and got them from the Halfords, obviously if you can, push them through your quad lock. That stops you from having to do it this way. I'll make the mistake so you don't have to. So as you can see, the quad lock is in place. I've got my 4 wires going in. The top 2 are obviously for the subwoofer and the bottom 2 are for the center. I'm doing my subwoofer at the same time. That'll be in a separate video. Very, very important. Insulate, wrap, solder, it's entirely up to you. But as far as it's a secure fit and it's a secure fit on here, you shouldn't have any problems. The next thing you need to do, you need to contact someone that can code it in using VagCan Pro, I believe. I'm going to go to VagCan Coding. They're the best at what they do. Very, very good prices. I recommend you get in contact with them when it comes to coding it and making sure everything works. Because once this is plugged in, you can use VCDS to try and trick this into thinking that it's the Audi sound system and not just the standard, but you still need to literally, I forgot what the word is, but you need VagCan Pro or it's never going to work. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon.